and warmth and all the other emotions and stuff.
Yeah.
Not a robot in sight.
No, I am good with no robot.
Oh,
fitness,
that's why you didn't like
you.
ping pong, because one of the characters turned into a robot.
Let's not talk about that.
Anything on the robot, it's automatic demerits. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Anime Summit Podcast. I am Nick, and with me today is Danny.
Are we ready to talk about some sad boys?
Yes, this is our sad boy inauguration tour. We're smashing the bottle against the boat. We're naming her the SS Sad Boy. Even though, yeah, that doesn't make her the SS Sad Boy. That's the boat name. We're going to have a bracket with all sad boys, and Shinji is just going to win. I wanted an excuse to put in Space Dandy, just the one episode where he meets his depressed Space Dandy.
Oh, God, no.
I don't think we could find 16 sad. We probably could. We could put a girl in there, too. You know, girls could be sad boys. That's fine. Good excuse to use the Young Lean song. So, yeah, this is a tentative plan. We're not probably going to do it, but maybe. Never know. Maybe we'll do what is it, AX? AO episode?
An EX.
EX? EIEIO episode?
Sometimes Y.
Yes. Oh, yeah, so Sam's out this week, but it's just going to be me and Danny. We're reviewing March Comes In Like a Lion, the first season, and this is recommended by Snowman from the Discord. And so, yes, we are doing that. Before we start, here's some contact info. Oh, I got to write my name in there. There we go, Nick. All right, and so before we were saying links.animesummit.net. Sometimes that doesn't work. For some people, it does. For Danny, it works. But for everybody else, just type in Anime Summit Podcast Linktree, and it should show up as one of the first results on Google. So we do have a link for that in the show notes. We should have that. We also have Shopify, merch shop. Sam's better at this than me, so just maybe Danny can talk more about it.
Oh, my God.
We got stuff.
Buy a shirt.
Yeah.
Buy a hoodie. So I'm supposed to be dropping a new design, but I don't know when that's going to be.
I'm still impressed how good our actual mascot is.
It's so good.
Like, it looks like a real.
I wear it
It looks like
proud.
it could be like a real anime.
I wear it proudly. So.
Also, join our Discord and Patreon.
Yeah. We do
you
fun
too
things.
Could recommend.
Like a manga club.
Oh yeah, we have Manga Club. We have the Emoji Quiz. Manga Club is pretty big. Manga Club is like bigger than our podcast now. That's all anybody talks about.
Because it's fun.
Oh, there's also Anime Plummet. Plummet is going to eclipse the summit
podcast.
one day.
Oh, God, no. We also have our show swap coming up for Nick, and Sam is doing a show swap. Sam is swapping Nick .hacksign, and Nick is giving Sam to watch Aria.
Aria the animation, to be clear.
Okay.
There are two different Arias.
That releases June 28th. So if you want to watch along or watch it and then listen to that episode, go right ahead.
And those are just the first seasons of each show. It's not the whole not the whole thing.
No.
Kind of like the March Comes In Like a Lion.
Yes.
Speaking of lions coming in, Nick's Emoji Quiz, Anime Emoji Quiz results.
Go ahead, Nick.
This week's winner was Kai, and the answer was Attack on Titan.
Out of all the fucking things that he would get right, he got this.
I need to do two different emojis for iPhones because the iPhone flips the hand and the feet.
No, you don't. It's fine.
On my desktop, like on non-Apple products, the pinching hand faces one way, but on Apple products it faces the other way. So that's
Don't
probably
worry
why
about
it threw people off.
Don't worry about it. Don't
But
worry
anyway,
about
it was,
them
it was
Apple
a pinching
users.
hand and a somersault man, and then a weird eyeball lip thing. It was funny. Yes, Kai was the only one who got it, because everyone else is guessing like weird, like Arietti and stuff. I'm like, no, you fools. Kai had a very funny comment. He's like, what did he say? He's like, Nick never goes that deep or something like that. Oh my God, where is it?
He said, no, Nick doesn't do that deep cuts. And then he said it. Thank you all for the participating in my event.
In my event.
Yeah.
Kai's event. And then Bob Man's like, yeah, I would have gotten it. And Kai's like, then perish. Classic. All right, everybody join the Discord.
Because Zan said, I have a pretty big hunch, but I'm so curious to see if anyone else
I thought
suggests
Xandris knew it
first.
And she DM'd me and she's like, is it Arietti? I think she said Arietti. It was not Attack on Titan though. And I'm like, no, it's not that. I'm like, oh wow, I wonder if anyone will get it. Because she got the Space Dandy one like instantly. That was funny.
Yeah. She's like, that one's so obvious.
But yeah, emoji quizzes are very fun. Join our Discord, everybody. Super fun. So now we have the question of the week, and this is from Nick. Nick, can you please read the question? Why, yes, I can, Nick. All right, here's the question. This is from James, and he asks, who is the most amount of pizza you've eaten? I read that wrong. What is the most amount of pizza you've eaten in one sitting?
I think I've eaten like 4 slices of pizza in one sitting.
Like New York slices, or just like a huge New York slice? Holy shit!
Oh no, like the ones that are the size of a baby. No, that's like 5 slices in one.
Do you eat the square slices? I kind of like those.
The Sicilian slices. Sicilians are so good, but
they're messy though.
No, they're like just thick ass dough.
No, I'm talking about the square slices. When people
are you talking about the frozen one? The school lunch pizzas?
Yeah. No, like when people just cut a pizza into squares instead of triangles.
No,
the squares taste better.
No. I don't do that to my pizza.
Because then your fingers have to get all greasy because you got to touch the grease.
Take a napkin.
I've eaten entire Jack's pizzas before when they used to be more pizza than cardboard. And now they're more cardboard than pizza. But yeah, those were a bad idea. I did that when I was like 21. And that's like 1,000 billion% daily salt intake. So don't do that.
Oh my gosh.
No. Yeah, so I've eaten a decent amount of pizza. I can't do it anymore, though. I can't eat more than like 2 or 3 slices max. Even 3 is pushing it. Just because it's like all the grease, especially Papa Murphy's, like the grease of the pizza just like upsets my stomach. I have to bravely weather the stomach ache.
You already have tummy problems. Yeah.
So yes, we've eaten moderate amounts of pizza, but not like Joey Chestnut levels.
I've never gotten up to the point where I got like ill from eating too much pizza.
Well, I haven't either. My stomach just hurt.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
And then you have to go into a fetal position.
All right, Danny, waifu and husbando.
Alrighty. Waifu is Hinata Kawamoto, and husbando is Rei Kiriyama.
And these are from March Comes In Like a Lion.
The 2 main characters.
Surprise, surprise. Wait, Hinata is that's the middle school girl.
Middle schooler, middle sister.
Oh, Ray is high school, isn't he? He's in high school.
Yeah. He's like I
keep thinking he's in middle school, but he started the shogi. He entered shogi in middle school.
Yes.
That's what happened.
Yeah. And then like when he was like 17 or something like that, he decided to go to high school. And so he's a 17-year-old who's going through high school, and he's like the oldest one out of everybody in his class. But it doesn't really set
I don't understand that. So in
his-
Japan, they don't graduate.
Well-
They graduate high school at 16.
Yeah, either 16 or 17. So
Because
I mean,
in the
he
U.S.,
sh-
it's like 17, 18.
he should be. Well, you have to remember, Japan, their starting
They're
school
better than
year
us. They're just better than us.
their starting school year is in April. So depending on where his birthday is and stuff too. Because whereas here our school year starts in September. So, but I mean, he became a professional shogi player in middle school, so he technically didn't have to go to high school, but he decided he wanted to anyway. So,
Well, because he was looking through job descriptions one time, and they all required a high school or 18 plus type stuff.
Yeah.
So
well,
plus he just wanted to say he graduated high school.
I guess. Yeah. So, but yeah, we're doing March Comes In Like a Lion. Snowman recommended this to us. Well, we spin the wheel and it got picked.
I was wishing for it not to get picked, even though I do enjoy the show. I just wanted to watch a
This is a
different
good
one.
show. I really liked this a lot.
I think I liked it more the second time around, actually.
I mean,
sort
this
of,
was
because I watched it dubbed.
Right. I actually really enjoyed the dub. This was my first time watching it. So, and I did watch it in dub. So, and I really enjoyed it. I liked the dub. I liked all the voices and everything. I think they did a good job picking the voice actors for each character and stuff. So, but let's go through the background a little bit first.
Yeah, so this came out in October 2016 and it finished in March 2017. 22 episodes. Studio Shaft, based on a manga by who's the mangaka again? I keep forgetting.
I have it right here. It's Chika Yumino, and she did these are the characters. She's the author of Honey and Clover. And she also did the original character design for Eden of the East. So,
Yes, so that's Chika Umino
yeah.
is the mangaka.
The manga started in July 13, 2007 and is still releasing. It is a seinen. And I don't... Let's see.
The theme is childcare. I don't know if it's that really.
Well,
it's not.
I mean,
that doesn't make sense. That's
well,
not. The themes on my anime list are not really accurate.
If you really think about it, like Akari takes care of her sister, so
yeah,
it's
that's like a side part of it though. It's not like the Lightning show where the girl lost her mom or whatever. What's that show?
Well, they
Sweetness and Lightning. It's not like Sweetness and Lightning or whatever.
Well, I mean, the sisters did lose their mom, and
I would say it's more like family
stuff.
Themed.
I guess.
Than
I mean,
anything.
it's whatever. But the serialization is in Young Animal.
And it's licensed by Aniplex, which everybody hates because they overprice all their stuff. So
Yeah.
just stream it unless you want to spend multiple $100s on it.
I just found out that the manga just started serializing in English, publishing in English last year. So there's only like 2 volumes out in the US right now. So I don't even know how many volumes there are out currently for the manga. Let's see. There are 17 volumes out. Never mind. And 194 chapters. There you go. So
it's a medium-sized, medium-large.
that's a good chunk.
So the thing with Studio Shaft, who adapted it, is like everyone always says Akiyuki Shimbo directs a lot of their stuff, but I don't think he does. I think it's just like his style that they use with like the head tilts and the weird angles and the super artsy directing. because there's a bunch of directors listed. You have him. You
Well,
have Kenjiro Okada, Yasuhiro Nakara, Naoki Asano.
I bet you if I look up on Anime News Network, it's on there too.
Oh yeah, look it up. I'll keep talking. All right. So, again, Studio Shaft. They have the Studio Shaft style, which benefits this a lot. This is kind of similar to Sailor Moon, where the anime is better than the manga. A lot of people say it is, and for Sailor Moon for sure that's true. But yeah, so March Comes In Like a Lion. It's a very dramatic story. Here's the basic gist, and we're only doing the first season from 2016 to 2017. So there's a second season that continues on, but just for the sake of the listener recommendation, we can't do like 50 episode shows most of the time. So yeah, here we go. So the synopsis is this. Having reached professional status in middle school, Rei Kiriyama is one of the few elite in the world of shogi. Due to this, he faces an enormous amount of pressure, both from the shogi community and from his adoptive family. Seeking independence from his tense home life, he moves into an apartment in Tokyo. As a 17-year-old living on his own, Rei tends to take poor care of himself, and his reclusive personality ostracizes him from his peers in school and at the shogi hall. However, not long after arriving in Tokyo, Rei meets a very warm family made up of 3 sisters, Akari, Hinata, and Momo, and they live with their grandfather, and they own like a traditional wagashi shop, and so like they basically welcome him into their family and feed him, and they're nice to him and everything, and so he wants to they help him kind of take care of himself a little bit, and so through shogi and through the family bonds, like Rei starts to grow as a character, and that's pretty much the first season. And obviously there's a lot of other characters in the show that you meet. Let's see, one of the favorite characters is Rei's rival, Nikaido, the chubby guy. He kind of looks like the Totoro character, Momo. She calls him, she doesn't call him Totoro, but she calls him the...
Botoro.
Yeah, it's like a
Botoro
made-up
or something.
Totoro, basically. It's like the copyright-free Totoro. Because she's like a big, chubby, fluffy guy, and so she takes a liking to him, and he's the rival. He's like a very passionate, over-exaggerating character that is also a shogi competitor. He's not as good as Rei, but he drew his own shogi storybook, and he kind of brings Rei down to earth a little bit. And so they talk shogi. They develop, not so much, I wouldn't even call it a rivalry because Rei is just better, but it's more of like almost like a friendship type of thing. And so then there's other characters like Rei's semi-abusive older sister, or adopted sister, not adopted, but foster sister. Foster? Yeah. Her name is Kyoko, and she is the daughter of Rei's shogi coach. And so she gets like kind of jealous that Rei is better than her at shogi, and then she's having kind of problems with her father, and so she takes it out on Rei, and she starts dating this really older, like this double her age shogi player.
Goto.
Yeah, and so like there's a whole drama with them because she'll like come over to stay at Rei's place when she got in a fight and everything.
In all honesty.
Yeah, no, she's a witch, as Momo calls her.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she is a witch.
Yeah, Momo's probably the funniest character. She's like a little kindergartner, I think. Is she even in kindergarten? She might be younger than that. But
yeah, she's in kindergarten.
Preschool.
Oh, she's 3. That's right.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Rei has like this relationship with all these girls, and then with his rival, and then also the nice thing in this show is he learns from mentors and teachers who are much older than he is. So the Kai Shimada is one of his competitors that he faces. Takashi, is that the teacher? Yeah, that's the teacher. He's like a very outgoing high school teacher who helps Rei. He'll eat with him at lunch, and he'll help him get through his classes and pass high school and not get booted out and everything. And you have, those are kind of the main 2 like older, what do you call it? Older mentors, older like people who give him a good example. And so, yeah, this is pretty much the story. And just to clarify, shogi is Japanese chess. It's slightly different from regular chess, but it's basically chess. with differently painted pieces. They're not like, it's not shaped like a rook or a knight or a pawn. It's all like the same shape of piece, but they have like kanji written on them, I think. Yeah, and so there's like a whole bunch of characters. This is an interesting show because there's so many characters, and it's all about like the community of this world, pretty much, that they're in, of Marchtown, which they're in Marchtown. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, March comes in like a lion. The title, where does that come from, Danny? That's you looked that one up.
Oh crap.
It was on a wiki page.
I found an interview with Chica and
Oh, okay. I can roughly
Shinobu.
state what it is. It's like March comes in like a lion but leaves like a lamb. Goes out like a lamb. Yeah, it's an
Goes out
English
like a lamb.
proverb.
Yeah, it's a British proverb.
Which basically, it's like you start off with winter and you end with spring. And that's kind of what the show does. And that's March comes in like a lion is a loose Japanese to English translation. It's not like direct. So that's where that gets the name. It sounds like a weird title, but it's kind of catchy. Yeah, I mean, that's like the basic gist of it. There's a lot more to it, obviously. What is that? What do they say in the interview there?
I mean, from skimming through this interview, it seems like she deliberately wanted Shinobu to direct it. You know, and people are curious about the reaction and all that kind of stuff. If there's an actual interview with the author and the director, I am going to go off that yes, Chico wanted Shinobu as the director and only him. So, Anime News Network has, I mean, you will obviously have some people directing specific episodes and stuff like that. But I think, I specifically think that Shinobu, just for, like, not only is the series composition, but, you know, he is pretty much, he's kind of like, you know, like with Miyazaki, where, like, everything has to go through Miyazaki and get approved by him and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I'm going off of, like, how he's the director and everything. So, like, whatever he says has
like,
to get approved and stuff.
It's like when you have, what is it, like a master artist? Like, they don't necessarily literally paint and sculpt everything.
Right.
But it's
well,
like their
I mean, it's the
school,
same thing
kind
in manga. Like, you know, you got to have somebody to do the in-betweens, or, you know, you got to have somebody to do, like, the black, you know, black ink and
I don't mean that he's sitting at a desk doing the entire show himself. I just mean, like, I was just under the impression that Shinobu doesn't do literally all of the directing, but I could be wrong. Anyway, let's get back into the story here. I'm reading a different interview that Chika Umino says that she was influenced by Western children's literature like Anne of Green Gables and Heidi, which that makes a lot of sense. I believe that. Like, looking at March Comes In Like a Lion, it does have like that feel to it. Yeah. With the art style and the just like the warmth of it, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely can see that for sure. Oh yeah, it's right frickin' here. And I remember frickin' when I went to the frickin' panel for Dempa that they were announcing March Comes In Like a Lion. I'm an idiot. Yeah. Sidebar, sorry. Yeah, no, like, honestly, I think this show definitely has a very strong like, first episode in particular. The compositions of, you know, how the first episode flows and everything, it really kind of sucks you in all honesty. At least that's what happened with me and stuff, you know, because, like, it starts off, you know, just Ray in his head and like he just feels like he's suffocating and he's like underwater and stuff. Like he feels like he's drowning and he's in.
Yeah, there's a lot of water imagery.
Yeah. So and that's kind of where I feel like Ray, at least, like, I didn't know exactly where this story was going to go. Like, I literally thought this kid was just going to be like depressed throughout the whole entire thing. But then as the story progresses, it's pretty lighthearted and stuff. There are a lot of funny moments. And personally, I also think that March Comes In Like a Lion has a very strong supporting cast of characters. Nikaido,
they're all
for
really
example, is a great side character in this show, and he really pulls through for Ray and stuff like that. Like, he flat out, is so loud compared to Ray, where Ray is very quiet and shy and reserved and stuff. And then here's this rich kid who's like super loud, and he's all like, "You're my rival, but you're also my best friend."
Yeah, he just claims him.
Like,
well, because Nikaido has like an illness. He has like a very bad illness, right? So
yeah,
he's trying to live it up while he can.
Yeah, it said that he has poor health and stuff. Even though he doesn't look like he has poor health, but he does. Like, he was always in and out of hospitals. That's why he kind of. That's the whole reason why he got into Shogi, is because he was in the hospital for long hours and days and stuff. So,
yeah, and he has like a rich family and everything. Apparently, he's modeled after a real life Shogi player as well.
Okay, well, that's awesome. Yeah, I really enjoy Nikaido as a character. Like, he is just he is a great role model for like someone looking out for your friend, in all honesty. Like, he is that friend. Like, he will freaking tell you like, "No, that's stupid. Like, why are you doing that?" kind of thing. And that's what it kind of does with Ray and everything. Honestly, my favorite part is when Nikaido goes over to the Kawamoto residence, and Hina and Momo were interested in learning Shogi, and they asked Ray, like, "Can you teach us?" And like, Ray just started going all nerdy and like mansplaining Shogi, and these poor girls are going cross-eyed. And then here comes Nikaido with a freaking book that he illustrated and wrote.
Yeah, he literally illustrated a children's book, and it's actually like really good. It has a bunch of cats and stuff.
It's so cute. It was adorable. It's just like, this guy is great. I love him. He's so well written.
Well, because he gets his family to like print it professionally for him.
Yeah.
And Ray's noticing. He's like, "Wow, this is really good quality."
Yeah, because he looked at it. He's like, "Wow, this is great quality." And he looked to see if there was a barcode on the back. There was no barcode and stuff.
First edition.
It wasn't even published yet and
That's
stuff.
worth money. That's a collector piece right there.
And then he looks at the author, like, who wrote it, and then lo and behold, boom, there's freaking Nikaido's name on the cover. Oh man, that was just so great. That was awesome. I loved it. Yeah, no, this show was great. I really enjoyed watching this. I had a grand old time. And learning a little bit about Shogi. I still don't know the rules or anything like that, even though they explained it fairly well, especially with that children's book and stuff.
They kind of did, but then they don't explain the actual tactics and strategy,
which I'm fine with.
Which
like,
is fine.
I don't need to know. I don't need to know how. Because
you'd have to be a high level Shogi player to fully understand the tactics anyway.
Yeah.
So they do show the board. The board is shown. So if you know Shogi, then you could look at the positions and try to solve it. But
in the long run, it is pretty much kind of like chess almost. I mean, you have the king, you have the rook. I don't think they have a queen. That's the only thing that they don't have. But they have pawns.
Yeah, they have like a golden knight or something. I forget the word. Golden warrior or something.
Yeah, or I think like the king is like the golden general or something like
That's
that.
what it is. Yeah, there's a bunch of pieces. It's not really important to the story, but it's
Not
just
really,
they're playing
no.
shogi, the professional shogi players. I looked up what all the rankings mean, and it's a little bit confusing.
Oh, like for Den and like the classes that
Yeah,
they're
the
in
Dan,
and stuff.
and so Ray is
He's
fifth
like,
Dan, I think.
he's fifth
a
Dan.
five. He's a 5 Dan.
class. He's a 5 Dan class 1. Class C1.
Yeah, whatever that means. Which is one. It's like 4 or 5 below the top level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of master, and he's above an amateur. He is a professional, but he's kind of
he gets money for it.
Yeah, he's kind of like right on the cusp of professional. He's like right like one above that. And so
well, I think he still is considered a.
no,
throughout
he
the whole
is. He is
show,
professional.
He
He
is
makes
considered
money.
a professional.
He makes money at
money.
it. He's one of the only middle school / high school kids to have become a professional in shogi. And so, yeah.
He's like the fifth youngest
Something like that.
person to become a professional shogi player. I honestly thought it was pretty hilarious when he was in school and he's like eating lunch by himself and his teacher comes by and just like hangs out with him on the roof. And then they're talking about how much money Ray makes, and then the teacher realized, wait, since you're a professional shogi player, does that mean that you're making more money than me?
Yeah.
And he gets pissed and he starts walking away. He's like, that's it. I'm not eating lunch with you anymore because you make more money than me.
That is kind of messed up. But I mean, it's it's a supply demand thing, right? Like not many people can actually be professional players in any sport or any game. There's a very small number of people who can actually do that. So, not to say that other jobs are not important. Every job is important, but anyway, that's a sidebar. But the teacher is funny, like, because he does that, but then he also he really is a good influence on Ray, and he helps him
Oh
a
yeah,
lot.
absolutely. Like he really encourages
He's like the
him.
only reason that Ray like actually makes it through high school.
Yeah. Well, at least his first year, especially with exams, because apparently if you are a professional shogi player, you have to go to your matches. Like you can't miss your matches. Like if you miss your matches, I believe like you're disqualified or something like that. So
obviously
there are times where Ray has to miss school because of matches and stuff like that.
Yeah, so they calculate like the bare minimum number of attendance he needs.
Right.
You have to skate by.
But yeah, this show, I mean, wow, like there are definitely a lot of deep like themes, and especially centering Ray. I mean, like he loses his entire family from like I think a car wreck or something like that. And
yeah, so he's orphaned as a kid, and then he's taken in by a professional shogi player who I think was his dad's friend.
Yeah, Kuda is Ray's shogi teacher, and he also is his like a family friend and stuff like that.
How does he know the girls? Like I don't understand how Ray knows the.
So Ray, from what I got out of it,
He
Ray
just shows up at their house.
Well, so here's what happened. Ray, after I think a match, Ray went out with I think some shogi players, and they got him drunk. And
this is explained in a later episode. Okay.
Yes, and so when he was drunk, Akari, who works at her aunt's hostess bar, finds Ray, and Akari is the one who brings Ray back to the Kawamoto house.
To life, literally.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, but the thing
that
is,
family is the only warmth he has.
pretty much, yeah. But the thing about the Kawamoto family, especially Akari has a weakness for, like nursing, like beings back to health. Like that's why you see like a shit ton of cats, like the 3 cats.
Oh yeah, they have a bunch of cats.
I love the cats. The cats are so great, and you get to hear like their inner monologues.
Their thoughts. They're always asking for food.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so great. I love it.
That's probably the truest thing in the entire show is animals just constantly hungry.
And it's not just the cats. Like there was at some point where Ray was taking Momo back home, and then there was a dog. And you can hear the dog's inner monologue thoughts, like I want to play with the little girl, and like poor Momo got scared and stuff. So that's how Ray got introduced to the Kawamoto family and stuff. And honestly, the Kawamoto family in general as a whole, like even the grandfather, he's awesome. They also help Ray. Like they're a good influence for Ray, especially in life and what it means to be around people who care about you and stuff.
Yeah, because he thinks nobody cares about him pretty much. Right.
Well, because throughout his life, you know, he knew he was different. He knew. Well, when he was a kid, also, Kuda, who's his teacher, really honestly took a liking into Ray and pretty much like adopted him and stuff. And that's how like Kyoko and her little brother kind of got shunned because like Kuda is like a professional shogi player, and here are his own biological kids who also attempted at being good at shogi, but then here's Ray, he's pretty known as like a genius, especially when he was a kid, who's beating your kids. And so now like I wouldn't even say like especially with Kyoko I think definitely resents Ray, but it's honestly not Ray's fault. Like the real person who is at fault is her father for kind of like reprimanding his own children for not being good at shogi and stuff. And so he kind of like favorites Ray because he's so good at shogi and stuff like that. So
yeah, he uses shogi as his lifeline.
Well, it's his comfort zone and everything like that. Like,
well, and he also has to do it kind of because that's the only way he can make money for his apartment.
Yeah, that's true too. So, but yeah, throughout the whole show, I honestly thought it was going to be really about Ray progressing through shogi and stuff. I kind of thought it was gonna like get into the feeling as kind of like how like an underdog in a sports anime goes to the top and stuff like that. But in all actuality, it's honestly about Ray going through his triumphs and his failures and forming relationships, and also trying to deal with his past, especially with Kyoko and stuff. You can definitely tell that whenever Kyoko comes into the picture, Ray's face just gets very sour, and like he knows that it's like it's a thorn in his side really that he can't get rid of.
Yeah, well, he doesn't hate her. It's just she just causes him stress, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, well,
because she is like his stepsister, basically, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and
he knows that she is going through some trouble too. Not that
Well, she got daddy issues, so
not that she's handling it the best, but
she's not handling it at all.
But she's kind of like almost like a femme fatale because she's supposed to be like super attractive and all the guys want her and everything.
Yeah. I mean, even when the Kawamoto sisters met Kyoko, like Hinata was actually like mad. Like she's like, who does she think she is? And then Momo was like, she's a witch.
Yeah. Well, and then that hurts Kyoko's feelings. She's like, I am a witch. Yeah, that's what makes this show so good is all the side characters It's not just Ray
Oh,
by
this
himself.
is such a great like.
It's not just
this,
like it's not like solo leveling where it's like you got one guy. You know,
Yeah,
this is
no,
this is
this
the whole
show-
village. You know.
This show has a strong supporting cast. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Um,
probably the second best thing about it, after the style of it.
Mm-hmm,
I would say.
I agree. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I had fun watching this.
Finally, a Danny show.
I'm
Danny, next
being-
week we're watching robots and gore,
No, we did that last week.
Yeah.
Remember?
where no characters speak
Oh,
and it's all
man.
machine.
Last week was rough for me. I was just
What
like,
do you
I'm
think
so
about that?
bored. I'm
Wait,
so
did you
bored.
like Angel's Egg, Danny, or not?
Angel's Egg was pretty enjoyable.
Okay,
I mean,
you liked it more than Robot Carnival, at least.
Well,
and more
I mean,
than
even
the
though
other shows.
Angel's Egg was definitely avant-garde and
yeah, it was up its own ass a little bit.
It's not about the dialogue, even though there's a little bit of dialogue at the very end of Angel's Egg.
I wish they wouldn't have added that. Yeah, this is all a sidebar, but
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, Angel's Egg was real. I honestly much rather watch Angel's Egg again than watch Robot Carnival. Quite frankly.
a little too 80s. Yeah.
So, but yeah, okay, back to.
But yeah, back to the good show here.
Back to
March comes
this.
in like a lion. The show with community and warmth and all the other emotions and stuff.
Yeah.
Not a robot in sight.
Nope. No, I am good with no robots.
Oh,
in
that's why
this,
you didn't
thank
like ping pong, because one of the characters turned into a robot.
Let's not talk about that.
Anything on the robot, it's automatic demerits.
Well, no. The Vision of Escaflowne has technical robots, and I like that show. That's one of my favorite shows. That's only like the only mecha show that I actually like.
Oh, do you like Attack on Titan? That's not really robots.
It's a meat mecha.
Yeah. I gotta say, the My Anime List recommendations for Barch Comes In Like a Lion are pretty good. Like, just scroll down the list and they're all like, oh yeah, if you like the show, you'll like most of the rest of these.
Yeah.
Because you have Your Lie in April, Chihai Furu, is it Honey and Clover? No. Yeah, Honey and Clover, which is the same
That's
mangaka.
the same, yeah.
Natsume's Book of Friends, Ping Pong the Animation. I would say that one is a little looser, but just because of the style alone, it's like if you want a stylish sports anime. And then yeah, Shogi Roku Rakugo Shinju, Hyoka, pretty much any like Kyoto animation show would. This almost feels like a KyoAni show, but it's just done with Shaft style.
Yeah, I can agree on that. I would even say it's a little bit of kind of like a coming of age story as well.
Yeah, a lot of anime are similar in that way.
Yeah. Let's see our little like thing.
I mean, it has some similarities to Evangelion, kind of. No robots.
That would be your expertise. You
got a sad boy bracket.
Well,
so far
that's
we have
true.
Ray and Shinji.
That's true. I guess if you do want to talk about sad boys, I will say Shinji is definitely more of the sad boy than
That's like the
Ray.
prototypical.
Ray's,
I don't know how Shinji would lose to anybody in
don't
a sad
know.
boy bracket.
I don't know. I do like. I guess my one critique would have to be like Ray isn't sad enough in this.
Yeah, in season 1, I mean, he does like fall into like the metaphorical like drowning waters.
Yeah,
sometimes,
well,
like
he
when
also
Ryoko
does
shows up and when he's playing shogi.
Yeah, and he does like experience a lot of losses during his matches and stuff like that too. I think Nikaido was like a commentator for one of Ray's matches, and
because one of the commentators had the flu or something like that. Yeah.
No. That was
a separate thing. Never mind.
That was a separate thing. No, this was when
Nikaido just used his rich family connections to get in and do all this stuff. That's my tinfoil hat.
Oh my gosh.
But he's a
could
good
probably
guy.
do
He,
it,
he
too.
draws good storybooks. He should keep doing
Yeah.
that. He's an ambassador for the game.
No, this was when, if I remember correctly, when Hina and Ray were walking home together, and they go into like the McDonald's because Hina wanted like a milkshake or something like that. And then Hina and Ray end up running into Hina's like crush, Takahashi, that baseball player.
Baseball player. Yep,
And
yep.
and so Hina runs to the bathroom, and Takahashi and Ray are kind of like awkwardly sitting in front of each other. But then it turns out that Takahashi, he admires Ray for becoming a pro shogi player in middle school, because Takahashi's in middle school right now and he aims to become a pro baseball player. So he kind of asks him, about how he became a pro in middle school. And that's kind of when Takahashi goes to the Kawamoto house with a tape of one of Ray's matches, and that was when Nakaido was the commentator and stuff, and Nakaido was like getting mad, and he's all like, why would you do that move, and this and that and the third. So that is kind of like where like he in a way he kind of like enters his slump, especially when he faces Kai Shimada, who ends up kind of asking Ray to join his little workshop that he formed with Nakaido and another shogi player and stuff. And that's kind of where the story starts to slowly evolve, and how Ray interacts with Shimada especially. I really enjoyed their relationship together, because obviously Ray loses against Shimada, and so because it was like this big tournament and stuff, and so Shimada ends up facing off the shogi master Soya, and so it's just this like journey of Ray assisting Shimada and preparing his match between Soya and stuff, and just the relationship and how Ray learns more about Kai and how he became a shogi player and stuff. So just again, like the relationships that Ray interacts with all these people is very heartwarming, which is hence why like I feel like he's not like such a major sad boy. Like this whole show has yet to make me cry yet. I mean, there's still like a second season of this, so I have to watch that and see what happens if there's any more sad stuff.
Yeah,
But
it's not really a tearjerker, I would say. Unless you're Sen. Don't worry, they're not gonna listen anyway.
Aw. I'm gonna tell them that you said that.
Yeah. Unless you're a crybaby, a big fat crybaby. It's more it's emotional, but it's not. It's more just kind of like you almost feel like you're underwater with Ray sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's what it
yeah.
is.
You do kind of
You feel like what he feels, I would say.
Yeah, there are some times where like, especially in the beginning, where Ray is pretty much like he's not going to the Kawamoto house willingly. Usually, especially in the beginning, either Hina or Akari like texts Ray to like come over for dinner and stuff like that. But like he doesn't, in the beginning of the show, he doesn't want to be a burden. Like he much rather be by himself and playing shogi. That's it. That's all he wants to do. So
Well, yeah, he wants the independence, and he's addicted to shogi. But I don't know if he even loves shogi. It's just like a compulsion.
I think
he probably does, but he doesn't know it.
I think he loves shogi. Like I can definitely tell that he's very passionate about it, especially when especially in that one episode where Hina and Momo wanted to learn how to play, and Ray just went on this whole tangent, mansplaining Shogi and stuff. So like you can definitely see the passion. I think
he was nerd-splaining, not mansplaining. He did it wrong.
Nerd-splaining, excuse me, sorry.
And then his friend did a better job with the picture book.
Well, yeah. But I believe Ray is just in this slump, and like he's in a moment where he's in his comfort zone, okay? And you can tell he wants to get better, but again, like he doesn't know how, and so that's hence why like he's experiencing a lot of these losses during his matches and stuff like that. So, but
yeah,
I think
and he's not taking care of his health very well either.
Right. Well, I mean, he lives by himself. You could tell that he's a minimalist, and literally all he cares about is Shogi. But
I mean, he's literally just an average guy.
Sure.
This is how guys are.
Okay.
We live under a bridge if it was up to us.
Oh gosh, please no. But you have characters like Nikaido and Kai and Akari, for example. You have these 3 side characters who's wanting to show Ray that, you can enjoy what you love, but also have a good life all at the same time. Like, you don't have to be this sad boy serious, deadpan, freaking boy face, and be a professional pro shogi player. And that's where, especially in closer to the second half of the show, is when he's with Kai, and Ray is even taking care of Kai because Kai has stomach issues, especially
he has like stomach ulcers from
yeah,
it might be from stress or it might be something else, but yeah.
Well, so I think
he's got a condition.
It is definitely a condition, and I think he developed it when he started traveling from his hometown to Tokyo to play shogi, and so I think he developed it during like the long bus rides.
I think it's supposed to be stress, like some sort of stomach ulcer type thing.
Right.
Because everyone jokes that he's like losing his hair and stuff.
Yeah, and he's not that old either.
Yeah, he's like the same age as like the ultimate final boss, Shogi Master.
Yeah.
Who you don't even really see that much in this first season. I think in the second season you see more of him. It's been a while since I watched it, but
yes. Yeah.
Toji,
you don't see too much of Shoya too much. You hear a lot about him throughout the rest of the characters. The only time that you see Soya is more closer to the near the end, where he's facing Kai in his matches and stuff like that. So, but
yeah, it's interesting how Ray learns just how much weaker he is than the other players.
Right.
So he's not like some kind of Gary Stu where he just trounces through the competition with the power of friendship and just wanting it more. Like he has it's a real uphill battle just to even stay as a professional in the first place.
Right. Well, I mean, especially when he has to play his ranked matches. Like if he's not playing ranked matches, he doesn't lose his like 5th den title and all that kind of stuff. But if he does play ranked matches, like he does have the potential of bumping down a class and stuff. So
yeah, and he faces Ray faces a couple old guys. Well, one old guy in particular who's like about to retire.
Oh gosh,
another guy too, and he's like, Ray's kind of feels bad for these guys because like they're kind of on their last legs, and he's gonna knock them out. So that's interesting. He also has like this emotional outburst where like after the match at one point he like yells out, he's like, you're weak. You can't give up like that. Like that type of thing.
Oh gosh, that was like such.
He was almost talking to himself too, in a way.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it's the whole like, don't bottle up what you're feeling inside you, like just let it out and stuff. So that's kind of like what he did when
he did what Hinata did earlier in the show, where she was like crying in front of the river.
Yeah.
I don't think he cried, but yeah, because real men don't cry, Danny. We bottle it up.
He's a sad boy, so he's allowed to cry.
Sad boys are allowed. Only when you're sleeping, and then you can say it wasn't tears, it was sweat.
Salty sweat.
But yeah, another character we didn't mention yet is the guy who gets the cat, Tatsuyuki Misumi.
Or Mr. Smith, as what they call him.
Oh, Smith. Yeah, Smith.
Yeah.
He has like a tie. He's like well put together, glasses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He finds a stray cat, and then he's just kind of like a goofy guy. He's fun.
He was pretty great. I enjoyed, especially when he first gets the cat and stuff. That was adorable. He's like, I'm gonna take care of you, and he calls the cat Strawberry. Another character that I thought was very interesting is Noguchi Isuka. It's the kid with the mustache, the president of the Burners Club.
Yeah, the Einstein looking guy.
Yeah, but like
he's like even in my first year they called me professor or whatever.
Yeah, like they called me professor or president, and it's all like, oh my god, like he and I just love the whole like. There's like a sidebar kind of like text like he's a second year, like anytime like he came into frame, and it's all like he's a second year and stuff.
He looks the part. I mean, there's mustache. Something to be said about that. You gotta look the part, whatever you're doing.
Oh man, I'm excited to see more of him, quite frankly, because I think he's more, because at the end of season 1, Ray, he eventually passes his classes, and so now he's in his second year of high school, and obviously his teacher that helped him through his school year and pretty much is his only friend at school, quite frankly. Let's be honest here. Obviously he's not the same, like he's not his homeroom teacher in his second year of high school now. So at the end, when Ray is sitting at the steps during lunch, Hayashida, he suggested let's form a shogi club so that pretty much that he can look after Ray in school and stuff. So, and that's kind of where they're all like, we need 5 members and an advisor in order to make it an official club. And so that's kind of where they go to the Burners Club, who has 4 members. And then here's Ray, who's technically, okay, there's a 5th member. So they kind of like formed this like shogi / chemistry club kind of thing. And I'm guessing that's kind of where season 2 leads in. And so hopefully we'll get to see more of him and stuff. So I'm really interested on the events that happen in season 2. So
yeah, I suspect Danny will finish the show.
Oh yeah, I'm going to for sure.
And
I want to know what happens.
Sam said you give her thoughts next time.
Yeah, she might
Sam's
even
busy this week, but
yeah, she might even throw in maybe her thoughts during post-editing or something like that. So
something like that.
We'll see.
We're gonna put that on you, Sam. You have to do that now. At some later unannounced date, Sam will let us know what she thought of March Comes In Like a Lion. We were kind of crapping on the show earlier. For me, it was mostly just that I'd already seen it. But
yeah.
And I regretted putting this in my top 50 of that decade. I think this would be in Danny's top 50 of the 2010s.
Honestly,
sounds like it would be.
Yeah, it probably
Somewhere in there.
would be. Like if I could go back to our 2010s top 50 list, there are probably definitely some things that I would change. And I think I would probably put this show in there for sure.
Yeah, I might still have this one in there, to be honest.
You'd probably have
I
it
probably
like
would at like 50.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Because it's a really good show. It's just not like I don't know. It just doesn't hit me the same as it hits other people.
Right. I mean, that's fair. That's definitely fair. I definitely really liked it a lot. Particularly, we didn't cover this. I honestly really enjoyed the music in this, particularly the OPs and EDs. Both, because they're two OPs.
Yeah,
so
there's the
because
Bump of
this is
Chicken
20
OP.
There's like 20, because there's 22 episodes. So like from episode 1 to 11, the first OP is by Bump of Chicken, which is called Answer, which is such a bop. I love it. And then episodes 12 through 22 is by Yuki, who also does the OP for Kids on the Slope. And this one is the March one is called Sayonara Bystander, which is also another bop. I just enjoyed all of this music in general, and all 4 songs are on my playlist on Spotify. So that's a win for me, in all honesty.
Anime music quiz, you're going to get them.
So, yeah. Including like the little nya shogi ando, that like weird kind of the Cats ending credits in episode 7 was kind of cute. So that little like ending credits was sung by the voice actors who voice Hina, Akari, and Momo for that one. Also, sidebar, so after the ending credits, the show typically has previews, and at the end of that preview there are where is it? There's an end card, and each end card is drawn by specific mangaka. And one of them was actually drawn by the Berserk author. So
Kentaro Miura. Nice.
Yeah, he did episode 1's end card. And then
wait, for this show he did the
yeah,
end card?
yeah. End card episode 1, he did that. On Any List they show like with each artist who did an end card for each episode. And also some the mangaka from Chihiro Furu did one and stuff. I really enjoyed seeing those illustrations from different artists on their take of March Comes in Like a Lion in their style and stuff. So
it's the one where he's holding the shogi piece.
Yeah.
Right in front. Yeah, that does look like Berserk.
yeah. So
now I want to go click through and see them all.
It was really enjoyable seeing all of different artists on their take on the show and stuff. So I really liked that a lot. I mean, it's a little kind of like, it's not too important, but to me, I did enjoy seeing that, particularly, especially, if an artist is asked to do it and stuff. So yeah, that's just my little sidebar on like a small little detail for the show and stuff. So
yeah, I always like the end cards and like the middle cards and stuff.
Yeah. So do we want to give our final thoughts?
その声は流れ星のように
Yeah, so I would definitely recommend this show. It's one of the best shows of the last decade of the 2010s, for sure. It's just not like my personal favorite, but it is one of the better shows of that decade, for sure. If you like, I would say, going by the My Anime List recommendations, if you like any of those, Chihayafuru, Koi no Katachi, Your Lie in April, that type of stuff, if you like any of those, then you'll like the show. If you want a show that has a lot of emphasis on all the side characters and the community around the main character, then you'll like March Comes Like a Lion. If you like Studio Shaft, you'll like it. And yeah, if you like Bump of Chicken.
Oh yeah. What's your score, Nick?
And my score, originally I gave it an 8. I don't know why I'm on the manga page. My Anime List changed their layout at one point, so I'm not used to this. But yes, I originally gave this, I think, an 8. Jesus fucking Christ, why can I not find this? I did give it an 8. And that's probably pretty fair. I'd say that's about where I would put it. I know a lot of people, the average on My Anime List is 8.38 for season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And season 2 is probably a bit higher, 8.92 for season 2.
That's a big, wow.
So that means, well, everybody who watched season 2 liked
well, that's
season
fair.
1.
Yeah, that's
but then
fair.
also they probably thought it was even a little bit better than season 1. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I really liked this. Thank you, Snowman, for submitting this show for our patron recommendation spinny wheel thing. I'm glad that we were able to cover this. This definitely is what I look for in shows, particularly with this. As I said throughout this whole review, is this show has very strong side characters that help the main character with his life and everything, and that's what I enjoy the most, really.
It was kind of like Planetest that we reviewed a while back.
Yeah, you know what?
Where all the side characters were almost better than the main character. Not better,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
as interesting.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I do personally think Ray is a very interesting character.
No, he's a good character. Yeah.
I do kind of wish, this is like a little nitpick, I guess, that I would have. I do kind of wish that the show was really focusing on Ray more than the side characters a little bit. Like, I just want to know. I want to know what makes Ray tick a lot more. And we do get to see that a little bit, where he talks about, how when his parents and his sister passed away, and then he eventually got adopted into his foster family and stuff. So, and past wounds start being unfold when Kyoko comes into the picture and stuff. So I kind of want more of that, like, family drama in a way.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what I was more invested in, really.
There wasn't as much melodrama in this.
Right.
Where we're used to that in a lot of other anime.
Yeah. So, and I really, I liked that stuff. But I mean, overall, I really did enjoy the story, and I do, I do enjoy Ray, again, like, kind of just understanding that life isn't so bad, even though he's by himself, and he's content with being by himself. But especially in, I believe it's the second OP, where Ray kind of like reaches out to grab a hand, and it's like a silhouette of his little sister holding out his hand, and his parents are like in the background, and then once he like grabs the hand, it's Momo's hand, and Akari and Hina are in the background too. So it's kind of like, yeah, you lost your family, and I understand that you're very upset about that, but you have this family right in front of you that has your support as well, and they care about you and stuff. So I do like that aspect for the show too. I honestly, I also want to know about the sisters too and their past. Like, I really hope in the second season we get a little bit more on what happened with Akari and Hina with like their mother and their father and stuff. So I'm excited to watch more, and then possibly even read the manga as well. So I really enjoyed this. I liked this a lot. This is definitely something that I enjoy. I mean, even on Annulus, they do have Chiara Furu. They have a silent voice, Your Lie in April. They have Fruits Basket on there.
Any Kyoto Animation show, pretty much.
You know, they have Hyuka, which Hyuka is my favorite KyoAni show. And then they have Skip and Low for Kids on the Slope. You know, they have all these like melodrama shows that I enjoy. So for me, I'm going to give this show a 9, a solid 9 out of 10.
Nice.
9 out of shit. Too bad we can't put that
I
in.
used our soundboard. That's not going to show in the podcast.
9 out of Nikaido illustrated cat shogi books out of 10.
I'll give mine 8 almost bath drownings.
Oh no.
Out of 10.
Oh, that's right. He did almost drown. He fell asleep.
Yeah, that was part
bath.
of the water imagery. He was literally almost drowning one time.
Because he fucking fell asleep.
Yeah.
And he's like, he really recollected that. He's like, wow.
Don't go in any body of water if you're tired.
Fall asleep. If
you're tired, don't go in a hot tub. Don't go in a bathtub.
No, don't do it.
Celebrities have died like that. Buddy system, although you can't do that when you're taking a bath. But anyway.
I mean,
you could, but
you could.
A lot of people can't.
Yeah. So I liked this. So, Snowman, thank you very much. We accept your patronage. Oh
yes,
man.
Good choice. Not as good as Arya, but good choice.
Oh, shots fired.
Different shows.
I'm also kind of sad that Sam wasn't here because
this feels like a Sam show, I think.
I really would
cats.
have liked to hear Sam's input and her opinions on this show.
I think it sucks.
I feel like she might like it, but probably not as much as
actually,
me.
I'm curious how much Sam would like it. Yeah.
Yeah. I really would like to hear her.
Because it's kind of like it's kind of like a sports show, but it's not like Haikyuu kind of sports, you know.
Oh no, it's definitely not
so
high stake type of thing. It's very mellow. It's very that like just philosophical, mellow, slow paced type of ordeal. So
yeah. And we recommend.
I have to watch Chiaya Furu for sure. This is
you've seen part of Chiaya Furu, so
yeah. I only watched a little bit of it and then I stopped it. I only got up to
you would
episode
like that
5.
one a lot.
I know. I did like what I saw, so I just need to get back on it. So, but I want to finish this second season before I jump into that animal. So.
All right, that'll do it for us, and this has been Sam, Nick, and Danny. Mostly Nick and Danny.
Mostly Nick and Danny for this time around.
I'll do the Quokka thing. All right, we gotta go. See ya.
Oh no!
Turn off the pod.
No. All right. Well, thanks guys for listening. We will catch you back next week.
Yes. What are we doing next week?
I don't know, but.
We're doing something.
Well, yeah, it's a surprise. So.
Let me just look it up here.
Oh, God, no.
While I'm here.
Oh, gosh.
Are we in May?
You're really going to look it up while we're recording?
We're roasting. Some sort of roast.
Oh,
Roasting
yeah,
100
that's
plus
right. That's
great
right.
anime characters from a ranker
Yep.
list. Oh,
Yep,
all
yep,
right,
yep.
all right.
Yeah, that should be fun. That should be interesting. So,
Nice, nice.
yeah, so we're gonna roast main characters list. So that should be fun. But
Gotta
yeah,
write down a couple of jokes.
oh, you can do that. So, but anyway, thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.